Alright guys, so I'm going to be installing this Reolink security camera on the outside of my barn. I'm going to install it all the way down on that side of the arena on the outside. And what I need to do is I need to run networking cable basically all the way down to here and across like the other cable is for the internet, and put it into my awesome networking box I made. So I know you're not supposed to run network cable close or parallel to power, but I don't have much choice. And there hasn't been any issues as far as the internet out here with that going on. It's about, I don't know, 130 feet or so. So we should be good on distance. I've got my Cat 5 cable. I think I've got 200 and some odd feet left. It's written on the cable somewhere. It's too dark to see. But let's go ahead and get this started. All right guys, now that I got this Ethernet cable run, I'm going to terminate the ends. I've got this pretty cool tool that helps out. Now when you terminate the end, you need to follow, you can follow either one of these coloring codes, but make sure both ends are the same. I'm going to use T568B, and you got the orange, white, orange, green, white, blue, blue, white, green, green, white, brown. So when you slide your wires in through this, they should stick out this side in that order. And then you squeeze this to terminate it. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to cut off, this side I don't need to cut off because it never touched the ground, came out of the box, but I'm going to use the strip setting. I'm going to slide it through here. I'm going to give myself enough room to where the wires are sticking out. Just clamp it down. Twist it a few times. Oops. Maybe that was enough. It was enough. Just kind of wiggle it, and it'll come out. So next thing you need to do, I just pull these wires out. And you can cut this plastic thing off as low as you can, and then cut this off. But first you want to do is untwist the wires. I forgot my cutting tool on the other side of the barn, so I'm going to twist the wires first. So once I get them untwisted, see how they're kind of wavy, I'll just go with my fingernail, kind of angle like that a couple times. It'll make them more straight, easier to work with. I ran back and I got this tool to cut these. Just make sure you don't accidentally nick your data cable. All right, so your wires should be pretty straight now. And now what we want to do is we're going to follow the wiring diagram. I'll put a picture while I do it. So we're going to want the orange, white, orange on the left side and the browns on the right side. So you got orange, white, orange, green, white. Now the green ones are a little weird because it's got to pretty much cross over the blue wires. And then it's going to go blue, blue, white. And if they're getting like tangled up or all weird, just kind of do the same thing I did earlier with your fingernail. Straighten them out. And from there we're going to go solid green, brown, white, and brown. All right. So just I kind of wiggle them around a little bit, get them straight. Hopefully we'll get this on our first try. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut them pretty long because the RJ45 connectors I'm using, there's two different kinds. Mine have a hole in the end, so when you feed the wire through, it comes out. When I crimp it, it cuts the wire off. There are others that don't have a hole, and you pretty much have to get this the exact length you need, and it's kind of more of a pain in the butt. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this kind of down here, get it straight. All right, so looking at the picture, we need the orange on the left side with the tab with the RJ45 connector on the top. So we'll go ahead and feed these through, making sure they're still lined up. That brown white looks like it might be a problem. Let's find out. See how they go through. So if we're looking at it, so if we stick this through, these colors should match up that. So we got orange, white, orange, orange, white, orange, green, white, blue. Got the blue, white, green. Got the brown, white, brown. So we can go ahead and stick this through, push it all the way in, and when you crimp it, it'll cut those off and make the connection. So there you go. Clean them off right there at the end. No extra hanging over. I'm going to go ahead and connect this tool to it. This is a wire tester. You can test like phone lines and stuff. I'm going to use it for Ethernet cable. What I'm going to do is just unhook it here. Go ahead and plug it in here. So that way, when I get done with the other end, I can just plug this in and test and see if it's working. All right, so I got this side crimped. I usually leave a couple extra feet of cable just because you never know when you might need it for later. So we're going to go ahead and plug this in here and test it. So as you can see, we passed. All the numbers line up, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, etc. So this is a good cable. All right, so I got everything plugged in. I got the extra cable coiled up. Like I said, we got one to the camera, one to the antenna that shoots internet from the house to the barn, and one back to the break room. So I couldn't figure out how to mark it, so I just put black electric tape. That'll let me know that's the camera line. So let's go ahead and get that camera installed. All right, one other thing I want to show you is I put one of these, it's called like a clip retainer. I don't know what it's called. I'll put a description link below. Basically, you screw it in, then you run a zip tie through it, you pull it tight, and zip tie the cable down to keep it kind of snug. All right, guys, so what I'm gonna do first is drill some holes through here where this is gonna be so the screws will get started. This is a, aluminum wall, metal wall, whatever. I don't think my wood screws will make it through, so I'm gonna stick it, camera right about there. All right, so these are not the screws that came with it. I ended up getting something a little bigger and longer that'll go further into the wood. All right, so I'm gonna do 1-inch hole under the camera about right here. That way I can have the line kind of get looped down and back up. That way if it rains or gets wet, the water will drip here and stuff going in the camera or into the barn. So we can go ahead and slide the big one through, and then we're gonna slide the little ones. I might close it up with some kind of like expanding foam, but so if it rains, the water, or gets wet, the water will run down here and drip instead of running back in and running to the camera. So let's go back inside and hook up the camera, see if it turns on. So the camera comes with this kind of waterproofing kit for the connection. All right, so first you want to slide this piece over. This didn't come with a slit in it. Some ones I've used in the past have a slit, so you can, slide it over. You take this, there's a rubber washer there, slide that over. Plug it in, put this over, twist, there we go. Slide this up it. This thing should slide under these teeth. Then we put this over top and screw it in. Should tighten everything and kind of make it water resistant, waterproof. Whatever. It's popping out the back. It's kind of weird, but it's working, I guess. All right, so let me grab my phone and see if the camera's working. All right, so got the camera working. Sweet. Like I said, this is for the neighbor's house. He's getting a house built, and he lives a pretty good distance away, and he wanted to kind of see how it was going. So I told him to put a camera up, and I could just use it for security at a later time. Now I've got some extra cable, 10 or 15 feet. Just gotta roll it up, put it up in the ceiling somewhere. I'll always leave extra because you never know if you might need it or have to redo the ends, or if I want to move the camera down to that wall, I could later. So that is how you install this camera. Thanks for watching. See you guys later.